Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat, and today we're going to be doing this vintage map of Canada puzzle. And the reason I'm doing this puzzle is actually because I got my permanent residency in Canada, so it's to celebrate. This puzzle is 1,000 pieces and it is by the brand Cavallini Co, which I have never done a puzzle from them, but I just think the packaging is so cool, so it's super exciting to try it. First, I have to show off this box because it's just beautiful. It is a cylinder box, which it's my first puzzle doing this, but I actually do have some cylinder puzzles coming up next week as well. Here in the back you can see the picture of the full puzzle, including what is on the bottom here. It's really cool because it's not only a map, but it also shows you population figures according to the 1946 census. I think it's gonna be just as cool inside, so let's get into the puzzling. This is the smallest poster I ever got with a puzzle. I sorted out piles based on color. So we have yellow, green, pink, orange, and the multicolored pile. The next one is pieces that have water on them, then the outline of the map, pieces that have red text, and finally the edges. It was hard to do the edges, so to make it easier, I started to also make the outline of the map. I did the bigger text first, and then the smaller text, finishing off with the rest of the outline. I decided to do the water pieces because it went from the outside inwards. And then I added the green pile since that was the USA portion. I started to pick out some of the pieces from the different piles and put them onto the mat. Finally, I took out the rest of the pieces from the box and finished up the puzzle. Even though it's so cute, this poster is really small and hard to see. It was a challenge trying to find the cities. Even if I'm holding it up like this, it's hard to see because of the names of the cities are written so small. Especially these ones in the corner, they're zoomed in, but there's so many that it looks just tiny. I do wish they made this poster a lot bigger. The colors are darker around each area, so that's good. Another good thing that I used this poster for was actually the bottom, because then I could see what the words were easier. I realize it's kind of hard to tell how big the poster actually is if I'm just holding it up, so I've decided to bring typical printing paper. Let's see how big it is in comparison. It's almost exactly the same. It's actually a tiny bit smaller. I want to compare it to another poster. This is for the glitter puzzle, which is actually the smallest poster I have, are these buffalo puzzle posters. And this is how small this poster is. It's about half of that poster. So take that as you will. Something that made this puzzle feel a little more vintage and that I really liked was this cloth bag. I don't know what material this is, but it's definitely kind of like a fabric bag, which does make me think of something more vintage. When it comes to the pieces, they're very typical size. The color in person is nice. You can tell easily which is red, which is orange, but the color doesn't show up as well on camera. Also, interesting color on the back is completely white, so it was very shiny with this light. I kind of think that this is one of those puzzles where I should have started from the inside and then worked out towards the edge, because that would have definitely saved a little bit of time. It was actually quite challenging. I thought that it would be easy because of the colors, but it was not. The colors did repeat. Once again, the cities did not save me that much because of this tiny poster. So I have to say that I did take a lot longer than I thought I would. Still, there were some elements that I really did enjoy. For example, the province names are written pretty big, so those were interesting to find within the puzzle, and then find every single letter and try to get those connected. I actually had a lot of fun with the bottom. Even though it's just a bunch of letters, I haven't done many puzzles with text, so it was interesting to kind of read through as I was puzzling. Another little detail that I appreciated while I was doing this puzzle were these numbers and letters on the sides. If we didn't have those, everything would be the same color and it would just be same color edge with nothing to work with. I wouldn't say that this is an actual vintage puzzle. I think the picture is vintage, but it did come out. It is 2020 as the label says. So it's not an actual vintage puzzle. So I find it interesting that they call it that, but I guess the picture is, so it kind of makes sense. Unless you consider 4 years ago to be vintage, which I do not. Unlike some of the other puzzles that I found challenging, I actually really enjoyed this one, even through the challenging parts. In the comments down below, let me know, do you have any puzzles that have interesting boxes? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!